This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
Welcome to the program. Joining me now, John Brummett, columnist with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Good to see you, sir. And spring is in the air. You gotten out working in your yard a little bit?
Actually, I did. It was a little windy yesterday, but I took that as the harbinger of balmier, warmer weather that's going to stay. Let's hope. But it's raining this morning, but that's spring, and I'm glad it's here.
Yes.
I'm glad it's here.
I can't wait to hear stories of how your wife, Shayla, has you move things to different parts of the yard from where they once resided, and then they go to the new place,
Yes.
and then they go back to the old place. What are
You're getting into some personal territory there.
What's going to happen this year?
Well, I'll just, since you brought it up, and since she's out of earshot, and since she doesn't watch these very regularly, one year she proclaimed that an area that she could see from the deck would make a beautiful field of hostas. And if I would just go around, she said they're not buried very deep, just dig up all the hostas placed around and put them all, make a field so that there would just be the lovely hosta leaves and fill it. And I actually agreed with that, and I could see it and I could do it. So I did it. The next year she said, why don't we have these hostas spread about the yard? Wouldn't that be better? Who put them all over there together? You know, I guess that's just sort of a story of a happy marriage, you know, and outside the yard hobbyist and a creative mind, right? Isn't that what all that is, you think?
I believe it is.
Okay, good.
All right. Well, maybe you'll have a little more money in your pocket that you can either hire a gardener or you can buy some new plants, because Governor Asa Hutchinson's floating some rebates from a potentially $600 million surplus that we are look like we might land on this fiscal year. He says he wants to use this to address high gas prices and inflation. I think he's just floating the thought out there at this point in time. Other states' governors have done this too. It would be broad-based relief, at least. Is this symbolic, or would it really make a difference?
Well, let me put it this way, and again, let you consider it and let all the viewers consider it. A state a lot like Arkansas is Kansas, for several reasons. The governor there proposed $250 direct payments to all tax filers, $250 per individual, $500 per married couple. $500, and that was to come from their surplus, a general revenue surplus, as is Governor Hutchinson's idea, and that was to cost $400 and something million, which is about 2/3 of our projected surplus. But I'm asking you, Roby, you got a couple of giant SUVs, I think, or maybe regular size SUVs.
I do not anymore. Sorry. Okay. I had kids at the time. They were little. They needed car seats, but we're.
In your household, would $500 help you buy some gasoline? Would it?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm not averse to the concept, but it's he told me, he said, I'm just letting this discussion start. We would not dare do it until the end of the fiscal year, June 30, so we can actually officially tally what the surplus is. Probably going to be $600 million, somewhere in that vicinity. And then we'd have to embark on serious discussions about what form it takes. This will not be a gasoline tax holiday. His whole reasoning is the backbone of our economy are people in a road-dependent rural state, going from farm to market and from home to factory. And we need to, and if they're being priced out of the ability to get to their jobs, then that's a need for all of us to address. So it would be silly then to on that basis to give up gasoline tax or motor fuel tax collections, which would impair the flow of revenue maintenance, of highway maintenance funds. So that's not going to be done. This is to take the surplus, one-time overage, and rather than build buildings with it or put it in an emergency fund, send it to all of us on a co-equal per person basis. But does that address real driving needs, or is that more like just a federal stimulus check on the state level? There are tons of questions about this. There are tons of questions about whether it's right policy. I mean, you know, you need a nest egg. Even a government definitely needs a nest egg. Do you spend? I think it would take most of us to do most of what we're going to get to do this kind of thing on a substantive level. So And the legislators, one factor I'm told is that legislators are just tired of coming down here, and they may not want to come back.
Wait.
So
Legislators are tired of coming to Little Rock? This may be
I didn't make
new territory.
Roby, I didn't, forgive me, you're right to call me out on that. I didn't mean to say that was widespread.
Okay.
But I think an equal or exceeding number would be pleased to come back and collect generous per diems, and in an election year, send some money to people. The Kansas governor she can't pass this thing yet. She stands accused of trying to buy votes for her reelection here in her reelection year. So all of this is interesting, but it's percolating, and legislative leaders have been generally told by the governor, let's start taking folks' temperature on this. And I think it's something that the people might get interested in, that they're going to get a little help on gasoline. So it's kind of a big deal. And remember all those farewell speeches the senators made in the last session because they weren't going to be back? I hope they don't have to make them again. I mean, that's the main thing that worries me.
All right. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson was confirmed to the Supreme Court of the United States this past week since we last visited. Historic in nature, something I think that we felt would happen. It did garner a couple of bipartisan votes there across the aisle. Senator Tom Cotton, Arkansas's junior senator, made some headlines for a speech that he gave on the Senate floor where he kind of played what's known as the Nazi card there, said that the last Judge Jackson left the Supreme Court to go to Nuremberg and prosecute Nazis. This Judge Jackson might have gone there to defend them. It plays to his base. How does it play to history?
Well, it plays very poorly to history, but that's not what anything is about right now, at least from Senator Cotton. He's on overdrive in appealing to the base, and that's what this is. This is using the Supreme Court nomination, which was going to be confirmed, to send some messages out there, send some red meat to these folks who want to own the libs, and that's what it is. He bases that, I guess, on the fact that she has a history of defending on appointment as a federal public defender some Guantanamo prisoners. And maybe that she believes in the time-honored American judicial principle that everybody deserves to be defended and deserves due process. He invoked Judge Jackson, the former Supreme Court Justice Jackson, who indeed, on appointment by Truman, prosecuted in Nuremberg, but in the process of that was instrumental in drawing the rules that he insisted. He was the principal figure in insisting that these accused Nazis are afforded a legal defense. And Cotton would seem, if you take him literally, to be against that concept. Because of her role as a public defender, why she might have defended Nazis, comparing her unfavorably to a justice who did prosecute, but who insisted on rules that provided a defense. So it was substantively, meritoriously, it plays well with his targeted audience right now in this cancerously divided political culture.
All right. Liz Cheney on the Sunday talk shows yesterday, Congresswoman Liz Cheney says that she believes there is enough evidence to support a crime of fraud by President Trump and those on his campaign team. And all this is part of the investigation of the January 6th Congressional Committee here. What do you make of that comment? And I guess maybe explain to everybody why it's not just going to be as simple as we have some facts, we have some evidence, this thing should go to the Justice Department and be tried.
This is a matter of political practicality. It's a matter of doing the politically smart thing. I believe she is saying, and I believe the committee has demonstrated, and I believe it will in its report, issue a finding that the law was broken, that the government process was obstructed, that there was an attempt to defraud the American people by Trump and people around him. I think it will say that. I think it should say that. These are the facts found by this investigative committee. But the committee, let's be serious, is all Democrats and 2 Republicans who are known to not care for the president. So the question now is, in addition to that finding, does the January 6th Commission make a direct referral to the Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland, requesting or asking him to charge these people? My position is absolutely not. Find your fact. Do not engage in anything that might taint what comes later in a political way. My position is basically all that would do would be pump some adrenaline into highly emotional partisan Democrats. They did that. They impeached the guy twice. They didn't get him. They didn't accomplish anything. And now you get all these progressives on social media blasting Merrick Garland for agonizing, for being cautious, for being quiet and deliberative about no less than whether you charge the president, the former president of the United States. I think I'm of the strong opinion that this investigative committee should find its facts. I know what they're going to find. I know what they're going to say. But whether they engage themselves in openly saying, please prosecute him, leave that part unsaid. Let the Attorney General do his job. Of course, I'm extreme on this view. I advocated that Biden delegate to an outside group the selection of an Attorney General. I thought that was most important because of the way Trump abused his 2 attorneys general, or tried to. But that's a little bit of an extreme position. But we got to separate, to the extent we can, just this political service to the base. Let's not go too far in zeal to see Trump charged, because that's serious business, and that's the every day that Merrick Garland says nothing while his Justice Department works on this is a good day, I think. That's
all
my
right.
view.
It's always a good day when we get to visit with John Brummett, columnist with the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you, Roby. See you next time. Bye-bye.